I'm Canadian and I grew up in Canada. I had a lovely family life. I grew up in a Christian family with my mother and my father, and I have one older brother. So my family was Christian. It was definitely a part of our life growing up. We went to church every Sunday. I actually was very, very involved in the Christian church, especially in my youth. I attended youth groups. I went on to be a camp counselor for summers at a time. I was part of a worship team. I was taking courses, and I even considered actually going to Bible college for university. So yeah, faith was always alive in our home. It was a very big part of our lives. And then when I was about university age, I started to kind of drift away from faith and kind of explore, different things. I was looking into, the religion. I always had a belief in God, but I just decided not to practice anything for a while when I was in university. I still believed in a creator, but wasn't practicing. I really remember two specific incidents, I think, that were really significant in my search. So eventually when I decided, okay, I was going to look into Islam, and then I started to read more and really kind of take it seriously. There was a family that was attending this sports club that I was working at, and they had gifted me a Quran once they learned I was looking into Islam. And they started to tell me about the Quran, and of course I was reading it in English, but I was researching it as well, and they were telling me more about it. And I remember thinking about, listening to them talk about how the Quran had never been changed, even in 1400 years. And this was really significant for me because, even as a Christian, in Christianity, there's this belief that God will protect his word. But then there's no original gospel. There's no original text. And, even through historical information, you can go back and you can see how man has manipulated the gospels. And this is, public knowledge within Christian history. And then here was the Quran that, in its Arabic form had never been changed in 1400 years. And that was so significant for me because I really felt like if this is the word of God, he's promised to protect it, and here it is protected. And then the other thing, actually, which came before this, it was one of the things that started my search actually, was, so one of these initial conversations that I had about Islam, I learned that the prophets of Islam were the same as the prophets of Christianity. And I remember feeling so shocked because, I didn't have knowledge, but I really didn't expect that because, I think that the media often presents Islam as barbaric and cultish. And so then when I learned that it stemmed from the same Abrahamic faith, that was really, really, really surprising to me. And it made so much logical sense that the message of the prophets of Abraham, of Moses, of Noah would then be continued on through Jesus and then also eventually Prophet Muhammad.